Welcome back. I am John P. Today, we are going to be talking about the new Rolex Certified Pre-Owned program. It hits the shelves currently right now in the United States. This is a program that was unveiled a handful of months ago, tested out in Europe, based on the testing rolled out into the US. The time is now, time to comment and talk about things like the pricing, the quality, what you get, does it make sense or not. Today, I know, of course, I am a watch dealer because we buy, sell, trade watches at delraywatch.com. So I'm going to try to take off, for the majority of this video, my watch dealer hat, so to speak, and really approach this from a collector because I'm also a collector. I have been for such a long time, over a decade, since essentially at the end of high school. I've been collecting watches and buying them as well personally. So this is not just from a dealer perspective. On the wrist today, I have actually a Rolex watch, Rolex Always Perpetual 39 Red Grape. I have this in my collection. I've been wearing some non-Rolex watches for a while, but put it on for this video because I do like a lot of their watches. I know the brand is kind of polarizing right now, but I think that's where some of the things that come with this pre-owned program are really focused on, kind of breaking up the segments of watch collectors and focusing on different things they're interested in. So we're going to talk about that. But once again, guys, please do not forget to check out Delray Watch, where we buy, sell, trade watches. And you can find me on Instagram, TheRealJohnP. So what's going on? Rolex has a certified pre-owned program where their authorized dealers and boutiques are to be offering certified pre-owned watches. Now, it's very similar to certified cars in the fact that the watches do get a stamp of approval from the manufacturer in the US and essentially every location in the world. Rather, the boutiques and the authorized dealers are all third-party owned. You walk into a Rolex boutique, it doesn't matter. It's owned by a third party. They might also own an authorized dealer somewhere, but very likely it's someone that wanted to open up a Rolex boutique or, the brand in the past, really entrusted that they would be selling the watches and holding the same type of standard as the brand and really investing in everything from the showcases to the modeling to layout to the training of the staff. So that being said, they're all third party. And with these certified pre-owned, keep in mind that the authorized dealers and boutiques are allowed to set their own prices. Currently, they don't have to necessarily follow any type of pricing guide, but the things that you get with the certified pre-owned Rolex watches from a certified pre-owned Rolex dealer is you get a hang tag that says certified pre-owned. So when you buy a Rolex, you get, you do get like a little plastic hang tag in there, and it's changed over the course of years. There's a hang tag that they sell with their watches and the Tudor watches. You get a 2-year warranty, so a 2-year functional warranty on the watch, and you also get an authenticity card that says at the time of sale, the watch was 100% authentic. Now, we'll talk about pricing in a second because I think it's very clear based on the pricing who this program is not for, and also even more clear who this program is for. So we'll talk about that, and I think the pricing it's not right. It's just not right. That's enough to be said about the pricing for now. But let's compare kind of the certified pre-owned and just any other pre-owned dealer out there that we can buy a Rolex watch. Now, the hang tag, that's nice, I guess, if you want to take a picture next to your hang tag and say, oh, isn't that nice? But functionally or any kind of utility value, the hang tag isn't going to do anything. It's not going to get you anything more if you go to sell the watch someday because you had the certified pre-owned hang tag. Doesn't mean really anything. If you disagree, leave it in the comments below. But the 2-year warranty, now almost every notable and valid pre-owned watch dealer that strives to do a good job, they're all offering at least a 1-year warranty. So you're getting an extra year of warranty than maybe the average here, than the average, common warranty program provided by dealers. But keep in mind the cost, full service cost, retail from a third party repair center on a basic Rolex movement is maybe $450, higher if it's a Daytona, of course, we're talking maybe $1,000, Skydweller, more, depending on the complications, but the bulk of the Rolex watches all use pretty basic, simple, serviceable movements that the most basic, rudimentarily trained watchmaker can service in an hour or two, truly, for the movement. So you get an extra warranty year, and the authenticity card, yes, that is something different that it might be helpful and might be wanted and might be in demand for some type of purchaser. But I can tell you, putting on the watch dealer hat here just for a second, we, as well as every other watch dealer, are just not going to care if it has that authenticity card. It's still going to have to go through our service center. We still have to stand behind every watch that we sell because watch dealers are only as good and reputable as their last deal. So even if it has a card, it still needs to go through because things change. We do take in all the time watches that have service papers from Rolex or other brands, and parts have been replaced after. So unless the service or authenticity card is dated 5 minutes ago, it absolutely needs to be fully inspected. People swap out dials, bezels, parts, all of the time. Super common. I know it doesn't maybe seem common for people that don't do it or didn't know that you could, but as a dealer and someone that also oversees servicing of watches as well, we see it all the time, and we don't put much value in the service papers, and essentially the authenticity card is service papers because Rolex does not service fake or Frankenstein or any kind of watches that are not original and authentic. So kind of the same thing, doesn't really add a lot of value. We'd love to hear your opinions in the comments below. Now let's talk about pricing. 3 select prices here of watches being offered currently, US dollars, the equivalent of what it would be from a pre-owned dealer. You go anywhere, Chrono 24, and I'll even use a bit of a higher price here, not the absolute rock bottom, but just to be even more conservative, just to really drive home the price differences here. A ceramic bezel black dial Rolex Daytona, $38,000 certified, plus tax, US dollars, $29,000 this can be had for no problem. So we're talking quite a substantial difference here. Now, a Rolex Batman, a GMT Master, with the black and blue bezel. We'll talk Oyster bracelet, not the new Batgirl on the Jubilee. $26,000 certified, $16,000 US, even cheaper if you hunt around. These are currently on the market. And lastly, a Polar Explorer, now considered to be neo-vintage, $13,000 certified, $7,500 not certified. So we're talking 1 for the price of 2. It's not 2 for the price of 1, it's 1 for the price of 2. Now, I can't say necessarily what they're buying the watches for, but I know the prices that all the other dealers that are out there are buying these watches for, and they could be making so much money just by buying these watches retail on Chrono 24 and then selling them at their new retail price after paying whatever it is, $500–600 to Rolex for that certification, and then still making even more than all the other dealers if they can actually sell them at that price. Now, I think if you're a collector, you watch these videos, and you work to really understand the watch market because maybe it's your hobby, maybe you enjoy it, maybe you don't want to overpay for something you don't have to. I can't blame you. That's very valid and fair, and why would anyone want to overpay? The only way that this maybe would work for you or a purchaser, maybe you're not a collector, you stumbled on this video, is if you want the experience, right? The prices I quoted you, the much lower prices, sometimes $10,000 difference, if you want those prices, you're not going to get wine and dined, right? You're not going to walk into a boutique and, they're not going to, give you compliments on your outfit or compliment your significant other or your wife with you or make you feel nice. Like, you're going to be missing, that type of scenario, which is just what boutiques of anything really do, right? It's sales oriented. People are working on commission. They give you compliments. They kind of stroke your ego a little bit. They give you champagne. Maybe they give you a sandwich. Some places I know, maybe a little hors d'oeuvres or something regional, just depends on the boutique or the authorized dealer. Some authorized dealers have their dog kind of gimping around, oh, this is our family dog, Fluffy, such a nice, locally owned mom and pop jewelry store, that kind of a thing. I see it all the time. And if you like that experience, that's cool, that's fine. I mean, are you willing to pay $10,000 premium on that Batman for, a $100 experience, right? I'll give you a compliment for $100. I'll pour you a glass of champagne for $100. Like, I'll definitely do it for $10,000, and that's what you're doing when you buy a certified pre-owned watch. You're getting an extra year, $450 value of warranty, full service, right? You could buy the watch from anyone, get a full service, and the full services also come with warranties as well from all the watchmakers. So $450 plus, the value of a half a glass of mid-tier champagne and I don't know, a chocolate candy or something, and a pretty girl behind a counter at a boutique that smiles at you. I don't know, is that a $10,000 value? If you keep the watch and you want the experience and you're out, you're having a nice day, you're on vacation somewhere, you want to commemorate an occasion and you're not a collector and you don't want a phenomenal price, then yeah, sure, it could make sense. Just keep the watch forever, divide the premium over all the number of days that you own the watch, and makes total sense. But if you're the type of person that, even just setting aside the price, if you're the type of person that wants to maybe trade out, get into different watches, try it on, get a new watch, collect, desk diver, kind of, you like to rotate through the cycles of your watches, maybe not keep your watches forever, you're just gonna take such a huge hit, because who even knows what they'll even offer you when they go to buy this watch back. But I don't think they're gonna be offering you, much different than what the rest of the market would be offering you, because they'll only lose out in the long run. So this kind of gets me thinking, but I would love to hear, what are you thinking about this pre-owned program? I'd love to see it and hear it in the comments below. Throwing on dealer hat again, I don't think this is going to affect the pre-owned market really that much negatively. It might even kind of bolster it up. And, some dealers out there, not us, because we really work hard to limit our overhead, because Federico and I like a good deal as well, and we're not going to charge you for things that you don't want, right? So I don't think it's going to affect us in any way, but there might be some dealers that kind of creep up their prices non-certified, because it's, hey, this is what we're competing against now. It's not, it's not necessarily just all pre-owned dealers are competing against each other. It's pre-owned dealers are now competing against certified pre-owned dealers, which means the market prices might go up. It might happen that way. And only time will tell, but we'll see, guys. I don't think it's anything to be worried about. And right now is still a pretty great time to buy some of these watches if you have been on the fence over years, because we're seeing prices much now lower than they were at their peak. So something to consider. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please do not forget to check out delraywatch.com, where we buy, sell, and trade watches. And we'll see you next time. You've been chatting with John P.